machines has produced a child, and the name of the child is solid state drive. So this is one area. This area is also called motion control technology. So what is a drive? Drive is the source of mechanical power. Olden days we had bullock cart drive. Later on you have steam engine drive, diesel engine drive. Now you have electric drives. So electric drives are more efficient compared to the conventional drives. So your drive has a source, then you have some power conditioner. This is your electronic circuit, motor, sensing circuit, and control unit. So this is what you have in your drive. That motor in DC drives, it is DC motor. When you go for AC drives, it is AC motor. So to start with, we will see the characteristics of the loads. So you have one load called constant torque load. Whatever may be the speed, the torque remains constant. Example, grinder and crane. So if you look at the generator or the eddy current brake, their torque and speed are directly proportional. So it's a linear variation. Then very popular load which you are using every day, you are using fan load. In the case of fan load, torque is proportional to square of the speed. So your fan consumes more power when you operate at high speeds because the load torque is higher and square, and your fan consumes less power when you operate at low speeds. Compressors come under this category. So torque is inversely proportional to speed. Very popular load is traction load. So in electric traction, as the load is increasing, you find that the speed will be decreasing. So this actually matches with the characteristic of series motor. What we study in drive, whether the motor characteristic and the load characteristic matches. If it matches, that is the best drive. When you go for an interview, they are studying whether your characteristics will be matching their requirements. So if your characteristics matches with their requirement, they will take you. Otherwise not. So like that in a drive, we have to see whether the characteristics will be matching. So if you look at DC series motor, very popular interview question: what is the drive that is used in electric traction? The drive that is used in electric traction is DC series motor, because DC series motor has very high starting torque, very good running torque, quickly it can accelerate, quickly it can decelerate. So the requirements of traction exactly matches with the characteristics of the DC series motor. So we are going to study some aspects of the drive called braking, then inching, jogging, etc. So inching, moving the motor inch by inch. In lifts, a heavily loaded lift, if you see, it stops below the floor level. So you have to bring that lift to the level of the floor. So you press that inching option. In the lift, when you press the inching option, it moves inch by inch and then comes to the level of the floor. Then the patient in a hospital can be easily moved to the floor. So in such case, you require that inching option. Or a very lightly loaded lift may stop slightly above the floor level. So if it stops above the floor level, then you have to do inching and bring it down to the floor. Jogging means running at slow speed. So you select with your drive, you select some 1/10 of the rated speed. So when you do jogging, you run at slow speed. When the motor is jogging, it runs at slow speed. Then braking, you are doing mechanical braking and in your day-to-day life with your two-wheeler or four-wheeler. So we are going to study how we go for braking with the motor. once the speed is reduced, we say braking takes place. Then exactly bringing the speed to zero is also braking. So speed reversal, another important aspect of the drive, speed reversal. Example, the lift has reached the top floor, then you have to reverse, then it will come in the downward direction. Or an electric train has reached the dead end, then you apply reversal, then it starts moving in the opposite direction. So in braking, you have plugging, dynamic braking and regenerative braking. These are the three kinds of braking. So plugging in induction motor, we have given with induction motor. Plugging means you reverse the phase sequence. And you are reversing the phase sequence. So to reverse the phase sequence, open 2 and 3, close 4 and 5. Instead of R by D, you will have RBY. RBY is a phase sequence opposite to R by D. So you have studied in induction motor, if the phase sequence is reversed, it starts running in the opposite direction. This you experience very often when you are playing with a car, battery operated toy car. So your battery operated toy car has a remote, that remote has two options, forward and reverse. So you have pressed the forward option, that motor in the toy car is running the car in the forward direction, then suddenly you press reverse. It will not immediately start running in the reverse direction. It will stop and then it starts running in the reverse direction. So if you continue to give the supply, it is called speed reversal and the drive is running in the reverse direction. Once it comes to zero speed, if you disconnect the supply, then it is called braking. You are reversing the phase sequence. Speed versus time, this is the speed and you have reversed the phase sequence, so it comes to zero speed. If you continue to give the supply, it runs in the reverse direction. This part is speed reversal, and if you stop the supply somewhere near the zero speed, it is braking. So there is very little difference between braking and speed reversal. Plugging is very fast. Out of all the three brakings that we have given, plugging is very fast, but plugging consumes more power because we introduce current limiting resistances under plugging condition. So in electronic version, probably in machines you have seen switches like this. In electronic version, we replace AC switch means you need two back-to-back connected SCRs or anti-parallel SCRs. One set of anti-parallel SCR is acting as a AC switch. Positive current is handled by this, negative current is handled by this. Next, resistance dynamic braking is applicable to slip ring type of induction motor, because in slip ring type of induction motor, rotor is wound and terminals are brought outside, so you connect an external resistance box with the help of slip rings and brushes. If you directly connect the resistance box along with the rotor, the box also will rotate. So I cannot ask the rheostatic box to rotate, so I have to have an arrangement of slip rings and brushes so that your box is stationary and slip rings are moving. In an induction motor, along with the rotor, slip rings are moving, brush is stationary. This arrangement is capable of connecting the stationary rheostatic box with the rotor. So you have seen this, you find in old floor mills. When you go to a floor mill, you find that the operator is moving that handle to reduce the speed or to increase the speed so that he can get the required grains or the powder in a floor mill. So it makes a sound. He is actually changing that the rheostat position. So when he is changing the rheostat position, then speed changes. but it involves power loss. Disadvantage of this, power loss is there. When DC dynamic braking, you are applying DC to the stator of the induction motor. In addition to the AC, a small DC is applied. This is used in lifts actually. So in the lift, you want to stop the lift, then you press that red button. When red button is pressed, this circuit is closed. I have the DC source. So this is that stop push button. DC is applied to that small winding in the stator of the induction motor. This is similar to the braking what you have in energy meter. In energy meter there is a disc. On the disc there is a brake magnet. In the energy meter you have a disc and you have the brake magnet. So the disc is rotating, the flux from the brake magnet cuts the disc, EMF is induced, eddy currents are there, and by Lenz law these eddy currents will produce a torque which is opposite to the driving torque. Because of the driving force, the disc of the energy meter is rotating. Lenz law says effect opposes the cause. A son fights with father. So the induced force opposes the applied force, and the disc speed of the disc in energy meter will be reduced. If there is no disc in your energy meter, then your heart rate will go up. You will be in trouble, because if there is no opposing force, the disc in the speed of the disc in the energy meter keeps on increasing. Your reading will be increasing. Electricity bill will be increasing. So same concept. There I have a permanent magnet. Here I have an electromagnet. This electromagnet is formed by this DC source and the coil. So when this stop push button is closed, current flows and flux is produced, and that flux cuts the rotor, and in the rotor EMF is induced, currents are produced, and these currents produce a braking. So that is DC dynamic braking. This is rheostatic dynamic braking. I will talk about regenerative braking once we go into the drives. So regenerative braking is possible when the vehicle is going down the hill. Assume you have hill region. So electric train is going down the hill, or a battery operated car coming down the hill. Then nature gives plenty of kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is converted into electric energy with the help of generator, and that energy is returned to the mains. I am using temporarily my machine as a generator, and energy is returned to the mains. The best braking is regenerative braking, because in plugging you are wasting the power in the resistance. In resistor dynamic braking you are wasting here. So in any method you have power loss, but regenerative braking you are returning the power to the source. This is something like you earn money. Once you enter into the job, you earn money and donate to some orphanage. That is regeneration. It's your money and you are donating. So nature is giving some energy, and that is converted into kinetic energy. You get overspeeding condition for induction generator operation. The speed must be above synchronous speed. So when the induction motor drive is going over the downhill, then you have that overspeeding. It acts as a generator and returns power to the source. So certain amount of kinetic energy is given, because the slope is fixed, the distance of your down the hill region is fixed. In that region certain amount of energy is given, that is continuously returned. So kinetic energy is half mv square. After some time this kinetic energy is reduced. When you say half mv square is reduced, v is reduced, because m is constant, mass is constant. So velocity is reduced or speed is reduced, which you call it as braking. So it's called regenerative braking, because in the process the speed gets reduced. So this is your induction motor characteristic, which shows all the three regions. This is your motor region, this is generator region, and this is your plugging or braking region. So this is very popular when you go to wind generators. In the very beginning, when wind generators came, they were all induction generators. So this is your motor region and this is the plugging region where your speed, because you are changing the phase sequence, the speed of the rotating magnetic field gets reversed. So maximum torque is also called breakdown torque. So you will study in drives, its behavior changes with the type of load. So if I take a constant torque load, we said train load, something like that, some constant torque load. So if I have a constant torque load and if I look at my induction motor characteristics, the range is very less. These are the operating points, the range is less. But if I take a fan load, these are the operating points, I get wider range. So fortunately, when you have fan operated on induction motor, it gives little wider range of speed control. But if it is a constant torque load, the speed range available is less. Same thing if I drive with a motor having higher resistance. This one is low rotor resistance, and this is high rotor resistance. With high rotor resistance, the range will be little higher. So difference between low rotor resistance gives lesser speed range, higher rotor resistance will give you higher speed range. So we have to know what is stability and what is instability. You have what is called stable region and unstable region. In control systems, you have studied a very basic example. The basic example that you have studied so if you have a ball in that region and you give a disturbance to this, it oscillates, and if it comes back to the original position, it is stable. But if you give a large scale disturbance, it may fall outside. If it falls outside, it is unstable. Or another example, in your house, one of your uncle or grandfather is drunk, and you want to talk to him. So you will give a small disturbance and then test. Suppose if he is optimally drunk, then he will be the discussion will be within the topic what you have started. But if he is unstable, he will be shouting and he will be going away and away from the topic. So to study the stability, you have to give a small disturbance. So you are going to see that if the slope of the machine characteristic is higher than the load characteristic, you have the instability problem. But if the slope of the load characteristic is greater than the slope of the machine characteristic, then you have stable. So this is here stable part and this is unstable part. So this explanation is applicable for constant torque. What you have studied in machines, the characteristic of the induction motor. This explanation is applicable for induction machine with constant torque load. So here, if I give a disturbance, then it comes back to the original point. Let us say voltage increases, so the developed torque increases. Developed torque is greater than the load torque. So if developed torque is greater than the load torque, speed increases, so the operating point comes to this place. Whereas if you see here, let us say voltage increases, torque increases, so now your torque is greater than the load torque, speed increases. So you find that the operating point will be going away and away. So in an unstable region, if I give a disturbance, the operating point will be going away. Whereas in stable region, if I give a disturbance, it comes back to the original. So that is the difference between stable region and unstable region. So this is with respect to DC motor. DC motor, except in electric traction, old is gold. So in olden days we went for DC motor, but nowadays no industrial consumer is going for DC motor because the cost of DC motor is 5 times that of cage type of induction motor. A 5 HP cage type induction motor is available for 5,000, but a 5 HP DC motor costs you 25,000. So DC motor is very good, its characteristics are excellent, but the cost is very high. So you don't find DC drives in commercial applications. Only in traction we have used. Modern trends in traction also we are trying to use induction motor. So plugging means you have to either reverse flux direction or current direction. So without disturbing the armature, I am interchanging the field. So if I interchange the field, flux direction gets reversed, arc direction gets reversed. So this is plugging in DC drive. Dynamic braking, you keep this initially in position 1, so it is running as a motor. Whenever you want to go for dynamic braking, you change this switch to position 2. So when you change the switch to position 2, due to inertia the armature continues to run and flux is given by the field. So it temporarily works as a generator.